emotion.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the International 9-Ball Open. Thank you very, very much. This event is produced by Pat Fleming, and it originates right here in the Simonis Aramis Arena at the beautiful Sheraton Norfolk Waterside Hotel. As befitting the name of this event, it is truly an international field that's gathered here. 112 players representing 27 countries around the globe, vying for the inaugural championship and $40,000 that goes along with it. Before I introduce our evening program's first match, I want to take another opportunity to say thank you to our three major sponsors, Simonis, Aramis, and Diamond, for their great support not only of this event, but for professional pool worldwide. And one last mention, on behalf of Pat, the entire Accu-Stats video production team, our great champions that have assembled from around the country to play for you. We want to say thanks to each and every one of you for giving so much back to the game that we all love. Thank you so much, everybody. All right, it's time to play some 9-ball. Our first player from Scotland. He is the reigning and defending U.S. Open 9-ball champion. He's sponsored by Perry Hughes. There's only one person in the world we can call Eagle Eye, and it's him. It's Jayson Shaw. His opponent from Chinese Taipei, the former world 8-ball champion. He's sponsored by Predator. Would you kindly welcome Chang, Jung-Lin. All right, guys, if you would go ahead and lad for the break. At this time, it's my pleasure to send it upstairs to the commentary booth, to Mark Wilson, and to not only a great commentator, part of our team, but the newest member of the One Pocket Hall of Fame, Double J, Jeremy Jones. Take it away, guys, up there.
Hello and welcome, pool fans around the globe. Pool matches do not get any bigger than this one. Chang has developed the capacity to intensely focus from a Himalayan monk and is now seemingly able to create magic. Jayson Shaw possesses previously never-before-seen power and accuracy. I'm Mark Wilson. Great matches deserve the best analyst in the sport, Jeremy Jones.
Well, thanks, Mark. And I believe Jayson Chang has won the lag, which I was watching the lags on the outer tables, and I've never seen such intense looks on the players' faces when they see the cue ball, the 1 and the 5 coming down the table here. We're doing it with 2 cue balls, but it's how important that first break and that first opening shot is in every match, especially at this level.
Yeah, there's a couple reasons, too, because if you win the lag, you've already started off on the right foot. You've won something. You've let your adversary know you're here to play. These guys are capable of breaking and running out about 25 to 30% of the time, so you're going to win the first rack. The person that wins the first rack goes on and wins the match 56% of the time.
Yeah, it used to be about 60% back in the day in the 90s when I watched a lot of videos before trying to play in the big tournaments, and even now, 56%, that's huge.
Yeah, because the alternative is 44%, so which guy you want to be?
Yeah, and I was mistaken that I was paying attention to the cue balls as far as which side they're sitting on. Jayson Shaw won the opening break here with both of them with tremendous lags.
Oh, yeah, the left-hander would have been on the other side, the Chang side of the table,
right.
I see.
And that's why you do that if there's a lefty and a righty. Got a lot of great matches going on the winners and losers. That'll be both at 6:30 now and again at 8:30.
I know it's hard to keep your eyes just on one table. Melling's playing over here. You'll know I see Peggy Lyons playing.
Well, J.L. Chang and Jayson Shaw have played a few times here in this venue in the last few years in some big moments. You can maybe say this is bigger just because it's now and it's in the present.
Yeah.
They played in a Winterside final a couple years ago in the U.S. Open when SVB came back through to win the tournament, I believe is how it went down.
7 ball on the wing. Made both the 7 and the 1 in the side.
Oh, what a nice kiss there. Maybe not to open up a shot on the 2 as far as offensively, but just to get a look at it. The 8 was going to cover the cue ball up, Mark.
Looks like the 2 passes.
Well, if it passes, he's shooting. We know that.
Yes. Good position for Jayson Shaw is 2 balls on the same table, no matter where they're at.
Yeah, and distance and difficulty does not slow Jayson down at all, which is most of the great players. I mean, offensive is the way you become great.
Super fast player, too. We're playing with a 40-second shot clock, but not expected to be much of a problem for Jayson Shaw.
And he smoothed that in. Didn't get quite the draw on the ball that he wanted. And Jayson, possesses a lot of power, not only naturally with the stroke and accuracy, but with a little help from the bigger cue. Sometimes he can draw the ball so easily, he probably fools himself at times. So as you could tell, the 2 hit the center of the pocket.
He sure did.
So it wasn't like he overcut it a little bit and didn't get the hit he wanted.
He might have been laying off just a little bit because he didn't want to make an unforced error in his very first stroke of the match.
Now, is he trying to get to the top side of this to cross corner it and run the cue ball? That's the best way to jump at this if you're not having an issue getting over the 5 like that. Yeah, that at least gets you probably another shot at the table, most likely.
Yeah, expect Chang to fire this bank in and then get the position on the 4.
Yeah, when you're talking about being in a bad position, you're always looking to lengthen the game, and that's actually most sports, not just pool. Create more opportunities. He'll just chip this. He's got quite a few balls, and the good thing is, even if he lets him see a little bit of it, the 4's on the other side of the table. So as long as he gets that cue ball back all the way to the rail, is he comfortable, Mark? That's like perfect speed.
Yeah. Well, he does. He has that intense focus you'll see on display throughout the match.
Yeah, but I mean, he did more than what we see here. This might be, I'm not sure what he's going to do here because he's got the rail cut off with the 6. He's got the other rail cut off with the 8, meaning to the left side of the table. And when we get your overall look, to the left side. So if he can't get through that 6 and 9, this is triple tough here.
Yeah,
we may see a trick shot here. I'm trying to figure out if there's a 5-rail Mosconi kick shot somewhere, but I don't see it just yet.
Yeah, you'd hate to play something like a Z kick because there's you don't get any kind of separation.
Well, if you've ever gotten to see Jayson Shaw's highlight reel from right here in this venue on some of the shots he makes, I wouldn't be surprised if he escapes, and that's not going to happen right now.
That's a credit to Chang's safe. That was really a good safety.
Yeah, anytime you put somebody kicking at a ball and they have to kick so lightly just to have a chance to not only hit the ball but to do anything, you've done your job.
Well, that's the only way to neuter Jayson Shaw's firepower is to lock him down. Last thing you want to do is get into a fast-paced shootout with Jayson Shaw.
Well, he could have used a little more there because you'll notice the 9's got the 6 covered up a little bit. So if he's gotten straight here, drawing back to the rail with the 6 there also could pose a problem. So he doesn't seem too worried. So he's going to hit this with some speed, moving the cue ball up towards the 5. Oh, he got all the way to the rail. That's going to be perfect.
He was able to cheat the pocket just enough because you could tell by the speed that he had to use that the cue ball didn't travel very far for how hard he hit the ball. So he cheated the pocket on that one.
And he'll just fall a little bit underneath the 6 here, land near the side rail. That'll leave a natural angle to go down for the 8, or even over for the 8.
Beautiful shot. And you can see, you see how little travel and the short swings, but everything's measured and structured with him. There's guys here that maybe have more just innate natural ability, but nobody works harder than J.L. Chang.
Well, he's kind of a technician at the table.
And he takes advantage of what he earned with that great safety and leads the match 1-0. Outer table action, we have Sanchez Ruiz playing Skylar Woodward.
Up 3-0 to Skylar scratched on the break. He got kissed in. He mishit a little bit the opening break. And I don't believe has shot since. I know Ruiz ran out and then broke and ran the second rack. I'm pretty sure he broke and ran the third rack as well. Chris Melling out to a 3-0 lead. Fortunate in the second rack, missing the 2 and 3 railing it in the corner. We have 2 Filipinos, Carlo Beata and Alex Pagalan playing each other. That's a 1-loss side match.
Kazakas up, I can't tell who he's playing.
Yeah, he's down 2-0. Pretty sure he is, anyways.
Chang breaks, 1-0.
Okay, here we go. Rack number 2. Chang set the break. 6 ball on the wing.
Alex Kazakas is playing the young man that Skylar beat last night. Oh, what a nice friendly kiss on the one there. But broke him well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if he's a little full here, this is a little tricky because he kind of needs to get down here by the 2 to where the cue ball's not running into that 9 and 5 and all that after he shoots it, because you'll see the 3 and 4 over the other foot spot.
Right.
So he could draw out of this if needed. Like to think he could cheat the pocket and go to the rail and get a real nice angle on the 2 like this. Oh, with perfect speed. And again, if you think a guy's comfortable, wow. After that nip safety last running the cue ball in the opening game, and now making that little shot look easy, because it wasn't natural. You'll notice he had to create a little angle coming off the 1 and then have perfect speed coming down for the 2. And now he's got options.
And it's so subtle, too, because it looks natural the way he does it, but he works so hard to make that happen. Kazakas is trailing Liu 2-0.
Yeah, now he got all the way down next to the 3, so he could maybe eliminate running into the 4, but if he had to run into the 4, he didn't want it to be a lot of it. Like, he wanted to be in real control of what was happening. He's got to be careful here about if he nips this 4 a little bit, trying to go to that top rail. I would probably float this in and and stay underneath the 4, knowing the 4 is not going to move that much if I float it in, and just go to the rail and try and come out maybe 4 or 5 inches, 6 inches. If he tries to come out hard, he may lose control of the 4 ball. Might go over towards that 8.
He's much too sophisticated for that.
And that's what I like. Yeah, hitting it soft, I either go by it and I don't hit it, or I just move it mildly.
He just does not make mistakes like that where he allows balls bumping and running into him and then not knowing where they're going. He just doesn't do it.
Yeah, and that was a guard both ways. Just in case he got a little bit of a bump, he was still going to be in control for the corner or the side, knowing the 5 passes the 7. So he's a hair off angle here, Mark, as far as he may have to put a little speed on this to punch to the rail. Because I don't think he wants to flirt. Okay, that's why you saw him take the distance on the 5. Because that side pocket was definitely in play, shooting it naturally. Now, this is a shot you work on, just a little bit of below center ball. Kind of using a little speed to ricochet the cue ball off the 5 and come out 2 rails for the 7.
When you watch him play, you just feel like he's never going to miss. He's never going to do anything wrong. And then when he does miss, you're absolutely shocked or horrified.
Reminded he's human, yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Watched him play Arcolo last night, and the battle went 8-8, and then Chang just laser-focused 3 racks in a row.
He's a little bothered by one of the spectators, and it's easy to do for the spectators. And this is the type of shot I think the snooker players that come over and go to pool really have an advantage using this shot coming out, because it's just so much control doing it. It's when it's up above the spot or near the spot, it becomes a difficult shot, because if you hit a hair too much speed or hair, one fifth of a tip too low, you can pull it into the corner pocket, or you can hit it way too hard and go all the way down table with the cue ball.
Right, the mid-length shots Jeremy's talking about. Look how smooth that was.
Yeah, and that's a little more than he wanted overall, but definitely didn't want to get within a couple inches of that side, but kind of hit at the speed that was never going to scratch. And that's the key whenever you know the scratch, like coming out 2 rails to the corner or something. When you know the scratch is on, maybe you're on the rail and you can't avoid it. Well, just never hit it hard enough to get to that pocket, and then you have no problems.
I mean, these guys have elevated 9-ball to an art form. Chang, nice break and run out there. This is the boa constrictor act. When you have someone that's a super firepower, the only way to do it is to dominate the table. Played the great safety in rack 1, picked up a good shot, ran out, then broke and ran out.
Kenny Showman, our referee, head referee here.
We're using the Outsville racking template. The 9-ball's racked on the spot. There's a 9-inch break box either side of the head spot.
We're using a 3-point rule. Want the conditions that they're probably about as tough a conditions as there is in professional pool as far as 9-ball. Which I think is another reason why you see so many great players coming from around the world. They'd love to come and play where you got to earn it.
Right. Chang hitting downward just a little bit. Cue ball.
A lot of power, though.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, that's, again, what I see as most successful is the guys are making sure that they're having an in-compliance break.
Yes, that is that word, compliance. Look at this. Look at where the 2-ball is at.
Now, this could be interesting. It just depends. He's so close to it. It doesn't take much angle to where he's running into the 4. So he's getting down to shoot pretty quickly, so I'm assuming it's laying really nice. You may have to brush off the 6, maybe even. Go forward. Yeah, like so. Ooh, just slowed it down enough. So we'll see. He'll probably have to go maybe into the 4 with a slight bump. Yeah, if not too much angle, he can go by the 6 for shape on the 4.
Well, given where the 9-ball's at, he's got a lot of options here, because he can cheat the rail, hit the rail fuller with inside spin and go completely around the 6 if he wanted.
You mean like shoot the 3 into the rail, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He can go off the 9. He can play just the 4 in the far corner, which is what he very well may choose to do.
He's just going by it cleanly.
In between the 4 and the 6?
Yeah, just going by it. The main thing is not too much speed. That way he doesn't get a lot of angle on this, and he didn't. So really, as far as speed control, every shot's been about perfect.
Yes. When you look at the options, perfect for positions never ruled out, but too long or too short, you always try to take one of those away. Chang is always spot on that stuff. He never makes an error with one of those too long or too short aspects.
Well, so far he's been in a situation where there wasn't as much jeopardy one way or another, so we'll see how that holds up. but I'm sure he thinks more exact. You know, the better you are, the more detailed you are. That's just how it goes. And also he trusts what he's doing. So whatever he kind of looks at to give himself the information, then he goes with it. A real clean strike so far, that's for sure.
This will be a little tester here.
Yeah, the 9's pretty close, though, so be real surprised if he missed this or even threaten missing it. Key to these types of shots is don't baby them. You know, don't blast them, of course, but
yeah,
go ahead and make sure the cue ball's tidy whichever way you're running it, and then don't let up on it.
Yeah, commit to the shot.
Right.
And yet another break and run out. Our score now 3-0. Chang over Shaw. Got a shout out for a couple people. Number one, in Germany, we have Ingo Peter tuned in. Glad to have you alongside. I knew you'd be delighted with this match. And then, naturally, the Lindenwood Billiards team for sure tuned in, sweating it. And they're aware of what's all on the line here. Eager to watch. Pretty much capacity crowd here, center stage, and around the room.
Yeah, it's
really picked up.
Yeah, this sometimes the arena here doesn't get justice. There's a lot of people watching always, but with 6 other matches going on that are, you know, you got 7 matches going on right now that could be the finals, any one of them. Pretty much,
yeah,
my opinion.
Oh, it's not even an opinion. It's an absolute fact. You've got people that went 0-2 in this tournament that could easily be in the final.
Well, this 3-0 here. Jayson Shaw, really 2 players that haven't done anything wrong, really. Jayson did snooker himself on a long 2-ball to open the first game. It made a nice jump shot to try and contain Jayson Chang. And from there, it's been all the man from Chinese Taipei.
See his focus, though. See how he concentrates at aiming here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Routine, that's for sure.
He puts the work in. He never shortchanges himself on any stroke.
I'll tell you one thing throughout the week that I've been impressed is now we're at 3-0, but how many 3-0, 4-0 matches that you didn't really get to see the guy losing really do anything wrong, but then, you know, stay strong and come back in the matches. I've seen a lot of those 7-2 where it just was one-sided and they were waiting their turn. They got their turn. They took full advantage and maybe not won the match. Some of them did, but made it, you know, hill, 11-9. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, at this level, if you can't come back and steal a match from behind, you're really not going to be in this type of tournament for very long or very often.
Oh, see Jayson, he rolled out. Tying up the 6 and 4.
The 3 and the 9 are kind of in a bad spot too. And that's he's going to give it back to Jayson Shaw.
Well, it's a situation to where, unless you really love what's going on, this might be one you pass back. Unless there's a shot you really just really like. He may kick behind this, try and hold the cue ball up behind the 7-8. Like that.
Beautiful
nice
shot.
Speed and really nice control.
That was a very, very effective kick save.
And he's got him very elevated. He's got I don't think the one rail kick by the 8 is cut off. I think he can get at that. He's trying to figure out, all right, do I want to hit this with speed?
Right.
Or do I want to hit this a little lighter and maybe not rearrange so much? Keep the balls a little more contained for sure. I would kick away from the 6-4. I would kick the other way. This way, you got a chance of opening that 6-4 and maybe costing yourself the game. Okay, hit it pretty nice. Got 2 rails behind it. He did move the 3 a little bit, so I don't think that's any kind of playable. A
It
3-9.
looks almost, well, it almost looks
Close
like
on the side,
yeah,
huh?
right, because it's relatively free.
Well, yeah, he's gonna entertain it. That's for sure. But from that angle, you would have to creep it. So unless you're behind it or something, and you can run the cue ball, it's going to be a little delicate. And what I mean, creep it, meaning to have a real legitimate chance of making it. Is that enough? Looks like that could have went a little more for him.
Yeah.
He'll power through it to get to the bottom side. Oh, no. Like here, he wants to be able to run this ball. Meaning the cue ball. And he's opened up the 6 and 4 just a little bit. So I wonder if Mr. Chang's going to look at cutting this 3 off the 9 in the side and coming back underneath the 6 and 4. Possibility.
Yeah. I don't think he's looking at that.
He
normally goes over and eyes it right down the line when he does that.
No, I think he was looking at the feel for the bank.
Right.
And I don't think that's there really to really gain position on the 4.
Yeah, he's just measuring right now.
I like that shot, though. It looks like to me you can hit it with a high right.
Yeah.
And come right back into that area where he's putting his cue now. Yeah, that's what I would be looking at to attack.
And you can make the 9 off of that shot, too, if you miss it slightly.
Main thing is you don't snooker yourself here. Make sure you get by it. Oh, he went the other way and said, heck with it, I'm just going to lay the cue ball down. And that was probably a pretty smart shot.
Really good.
And he cut off the kicks badly again. Can he get by the 6 and to the right of the 7-9? If he can't get there, this is really, really tough.
It's really borderline. I'm closer to the line. I can't see, but it's very, very close to whether he can do it or not. He seems to think he can.
He may have to. Okay, if he can get by it, he's definitely kicking. He can go straight at it, kick to make it. One rail. Now, I think he's opened the 4 enough to where he can cut it from the center of the table.
Right.
Then he's got that entire left side of the table open to kind of run the cue ball up and down for the 5, I believe. May not even need to do that. So Jayson Shaw pretty much doing everything he's supposed to do and can't get a win so far. I mean, the 3-9 combo on the side was probably, it looked like it was worth going for.
Yeah, it came close.
He'd really like to come to the clear side of the table to shoot the 7, what will be in the upper left when he gets on it.
Here's what I love. Chang takes his time here so he doesn't have to shoot a hard shot later on. He just works so hard on these routine to get the right angle.
I don't know if that's enough.
Yeah, I usually jinx people when I say that.
Well, I mean, he's got a little bit of angle, but now he's going to have to force it a touch. But he definitely wants to come to the side of the table where when he shoots the 7, he doesn't have to contend with the 9 and the 8, meaning a collision on the cue ball.
Very smooth cueing action. And after he hits the ball, you can always just look at him and go 1001, 1002. He's still in place. He just finishes his stroke, doesn't get jumpy or anything. Nice draw stroke. That in-between shot, not effective draw, kind of the stun draw.
And it looks like he's got to pinch this back for the 9 in the same corner.
And 4-0, Chang in front of Shaw. You know, there is one thing. If I was to say that Jayson Shaw had a weakness, is sometimes when things go awry, sometimes his emotions get the best of him. And it's not been in evidence the last year or two. But you remember back in the day, he just tried to go through there with shot making. And sometimes if it got to be 2 safeties in a row, he'd just give you that game and just outshoot you the next. You know, I mean, he's just going to go for something. But he's become a more complete player. And consequently, since he got married and a kid, his emotions have been much more in check. But still, no, you know, we do get frustrated, and especially when you're playing great and you don't get a chance to play, which is that's the direction we're heading.
Well, it's 9-ball, and you figure him to get some opportunity at some time or another. The way the break is here, it doesn't take much to get snookered, get kissed in.
Right.
So he's just got to wait for his opportunity. I think he knew this going ahead of time, that he didn't expect many mistakes from J.L. Chang.
Right.
So
You make a great point there. But that's also what kind of adds to the frustration is, you know, you can't count on the guy helping you at all. You got to do it yourself. You're not getting any chances.
Yeah, you're going to have to kick out of something and get something going yourself. We've seen Jayson be very effective on the break, not only on this table, but the outer tables as well. Obviously, he's in the final 8 of the winner's side trying to get to the final 4. But even this position here, you don't figure J.L. Chang to roll out or anything like that. He's got a clean look at the 4, but I don't think it's an offensive look overall. If he can get to this, to where he can cut it to the lower right part of your screen in that corner, that would be offensive. The other side doesn't look that great to me. So you figure you got to kick out of something, jump out of something.
Yes.
Make some kind of shot to get things going. Now the shot clock's winding down. He's got his extension, though. Okay, now, that's that jump shot I was talking about that players definitely want to avoid, and Chang knows that's a mistake. Kind of just hit it a hair heavy.
Yeah.
He wanted to lay it down just past the spot behind the 9, using the 8 and the 9 as possible blockers. Okay, that's got to slow down a little bit.
That's a great
it's
shot.
kind of, yeah.
He was able to keep it out of the scratch with the backspin. Yeah, that's a nice start.
And it's easy to get down and just shoot real quick after a player doesn't let you play that much, and taking his time here on a big 5-ball to get things going. Okay, it looks like perfect speed. Pretty, well, a little short of perfect, but still should be fine.
Perfect for him, perfect for the Mirror Pro is slightly 2 different things. And that is the other component of it. Jayson can definitely make things happen from nothing. He doesn't need help. But he definitely has the capacity to come back easily. This is not an enormous lead when you're talking about playing pool at this level.
Yeah, he played one heck of a match last night against Carlo Biata. Everybody else was like 3-3, and his match was over. And so,
yeah.
And Carlo really didn't do much wrong. He got kind of over the top of a 6-ball early in like the 2nd or 3rd game, and then Jayson just took over.
4-1, Eagle Eye on the board now.
And you can see Jayson with plenty of support here in this arena. A lot of success in the last couple years. One thing about Jayson that I've seen overall, as far as the break's concerned, is I think I've seen him make more balls on the break than anybody else. And there is something, too, about doing less work when you do get the shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we remember back in Earl's heyday when he would rein in 2 and 3 balls on the break, and then he'd be playing 7 ball and be straight in. About once every 3 games, he'd have to make a hard shot, which he would then do.
Sky Woodward hard to get on the board over there at 4-0 against Ruiz Sanchez of Spain. Skyler, one of the last 2 Americans left on the winner's side. That other one being Shane Van Boening, which will be up next here.
Track 6, Jayson breaks. Chang leads 4-1.
Jayson takes his time locking into the break here, too.
Yeah, open hand bridge, which you won't see much of that in professional pool overall, but it's with a lot of power and a lot of precision. Okay, he's made 2 on the break. I don't know if it's going to get there.
I think he can jump it, though. It's not
No,
much worse
I don't
than
think it's
jumpable.
in compliance.
Oh. We made 2,
Maybe
right?
it is.
3, 6,
yeah. But, okay.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, the 6 is in. Yes, it is. Yes, it's
just
good.
has to be touching there.
Yeah, just touching. It's all the way in, though, actually. Eyes fooled me for a second. Big jump shot again.
Effortless. Hop twice, stuck.
Yeah, and really holding the cue ball just perfectly.
Yeah. Looked like the end of some type of a gymnastics routine where it was hop, hop, and stick. The judges gave him a 9.
And Petrie, well, how great is he playing? Down 3-0 to Chris Melling, and now I don't think Chris has shot since 3-0. Jason Shaw, perfect strike on the 3 coming out. Or nice low angle to pull up the rail for the 6. Now he's got to be a little concerned getting from the 6 to the 7. Does he want to pull past, or does he want to stay above it for more of an angle to run the cue ball? Yeah, he's going to stay above it. This is where he'll just use his talent coming down the table 1 rail. May catch the 2nd rail on the side rail. I doubt it, though. And just float down. Oh, he's coming. Okay, kind of 2 towards the 9. That was a little bit of an odd angle the way it went, right, Mark? It just didn't look like a traditional kind of angle. You'd bring the cue ball down, but
I think the 6 ball was a little flat, and he was afraid of catching the point on the side pocket, so he just wanted to take that out of there by going with a little more power.
A little shorter of it, I guess. I thought he'd just run 1 rail straight down past the 9, just kind of using good speed coming down the table, but nevertheless got really nice on the 7 and a little short on the 8, so he'll draw this cue ball to the side rail and back out.
Didn't do anything more than he had to.
Mm-hmm.
And a nice time to break and run out there for Jayson Eagle Eye Shaw.
And really pretty much very similar to Chang. No mistakes, really.
No.
Oscar Dominguez hanging tough with Dennis Rocollo at 4 games apiece. I think there's only 3 Americans left, that being Oscar,
Skyler
and SBB.
Corey Deuel played real well here.
No, he
this
played
last
great
match.
the whole week. The whole week he played great.
Yeah, I certainly couldn't discredit his performance. It was an upper 800s match, and Fedor just shut him down.
I don't think you'll see Jayson. He's inspecting the rack, but I don't think you'll see him change his break spot for really any kind of reason. He's broke there predominantly through the tournament when I've watched. A little more full hit that time than the cut he's been playing, so we'll see.
Is that a dry break, though?
Yeah, that's a dry break, and that's you really haven't seen Jayson's cue ball come down table like that. That was much more full. He's been playing more of a cut. Now this one got a little funny, meaning not so easy to bank, not so easy to cut, and the two pretty much all the way down the table on the end rail here, on the bottom rail.
Double J. Bergman's still in as well.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I did see Justin earlier. That's right. He plays at 8:30.
He beat Homan. A real solid performance. Homan played great earlier. He's playing Kevin Chang in the next round.
Kevin has improved through the tournament, that's for sure. I watched a little bit of his early matches, and he was struggling a little bit. Stayed on the winners for a couple rounds, but then I believe lost his third round winner side match, and has played a lot of pools since then. It looks like he's going to try and bank this in, Mark, and try and pinch the cue ball back out a little bit, I think. I don't think he's cutting it. Yeah, he kind of shoved it in.
Good shot there. I don't know if the 6-ball clear. Oh,
Yeah, he's got to look at the two. It's not great. It's certainly cuttable, but it's one you would hit with a flat ball, and really get in position on the 3 looks tough to me. I'm not so sure about this one.
See what you mean, yeah.
Yeah, he's even going to the other side for safety. He's going to try and run the cue ball towards the 7 and 5, trying to hold the 2 underneath the 9 and 6, maybe something like that.
This is kind of a naked safety.
Yeah, but it could be really nice if the speed's good. Okay, so that's kind of 2 safeties in a row. The one on the jump shot at 4-0 that he left Jayson on a side pocket jump shot. Now, a lot of air on the cue ball and the 2-ball here.
Jayson does not want to play safe.
Well, he was looking at a bank, but there's no real great shape on the 3. If the 3 passed the 5, that would be a different story, because you could maybe play a 2-way shot. But here, I think he's just got to slowly put him behind the 4, maybe. Kind of drag the cue ball and put him behind the 4. That's too much. He's not going to be happy with that at all. And that's that type of shot that you say to yourself, oh, man, if I don't hook him, I want to get that 2 up high enough. And then you do kind of get the 2 up high, but you never hook him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
probably, you'd like to be able to move the 2 away instead of just cutting it towards the 8 and bring the cue ball behind the 4. Like he'd like to bank the 2 away and come behind to the end rail, maybe put the 2 up by the 5 or in the middle of the table and behind the cue ball behind the 9 on the rail. All right, he's going to cut it like that, and if you can lay that one down, it can be pretty nice. Good shot.
Well, Jason's going to have to jump to hit it.
Yeah, he's looking to make it, though. He's going to try and make this 8 in the corner. Now, this is interesting on this one because you don't figure him to jump it all the way to the 2-ball. So the cue ball could be bouncing here with the balls close to the rail and trying to make a combination. So he wants to hit it with some speed. Hit it pretty clean, though, when he brought the cue ball back. Didn't quite get there.
Asking for the cue ball to be cleaned. We had an interesting incident happen here earlier when Ken Schumann was cleaning the cue ball on a very thin cut for Chris Melling. And then after Ken cleaned the cue ball, set it down, removed it, and then was going to dust up the cloth around it and knock the cue ball away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was. Danny says that Melling doesn't get ball in hand when the referee fouls. It was kind of embarrassing for Ken.
Yeah, well.
Chris has got a good spirit about him. He wasn't all that fond of it, but he did laugh.
He doesn't make many errors, Ken Shulman, so. All right, he's got to kind of dead roll this.
Yeah, this is not that easy of a shot.
No, and still the cue ball went a long ways.
I think he chose a little more pace on that one just because it was such an awkward cut that he felt a little more comfortable, and he didn't want to possibly hit a green and chalk or something.
He wants to get to this shot on the 3 before missing that duck on the 2, even if he has to shoot the 3 from a little more distance. So it's real natural, however he wants to shoot it. He's been dragging the ball in a lot, which if you're comfortable, TV table drag shot is a huge shot to have in your arsenal. See how he drug the cue ball? You can really hold the ball. You don't have to dead roll it. I think that's one reason Ralph Souquet's always been so successful on TV table kind of atmospheres. He's excellent at opening that pocket up with that drag stroke. One issue for Jayson Shaw, if it's going to be like Jayson Chang, wins a game and breaks and runs 2 or 3 to add on top of it every time, that's whenever this match could get really out of hand and over with quickly.
And that's just our sport. It's nothing you can do about it.
And Skylar Woodward still trying to get on the board at 5-0 now. Chris Melling finally back to the table after I don't think he shot. I think he broke and made a mistake on a safety at 3-0, and Petrie ran to 6, I believe. Now 6-3 leading over Chris Melling. Alex Gazakis down 5-2. Again, pretty perfect speed just to gather a little bit of angle to go naturally towards the 8, however he wants to play it, going to the top rail or drawing over. I'm sure it's to the top rail. And a routine 9-ball to take a 5-2 lead.
Yeah, high quality stuff here on center court. I bet their Accu-Stats are just sky high. I bet both players were over 900. I don't remember.
Oh, well over 900. I got to believe Chang, he made a mistake on a safety, even though he got a snooker. I think you would ask him, it was a mistake to leave that ball over the side. And then another opening on
a safety, too.
On a safety on the 4-ball, I believe it was, after the break. He didn't get the snooker, but it was a funny situation, too. He was trying to guard against the run out, basically. So
that's it. I don't remember any missed balls or anything.
Oh, no missed balls. Jayson Shaw missed a 3-9 kind of an off combination where the balls were all jumbled up. It was worth shooting at, it appeared anyways.
Right.
He hit both kick shots that Mr. Chang put on him when he played safe. So it's going to be, I'm guessing, 55-ish, 60-ish for Jayson Chang, and probably 9:15, 9:20 for Jayson.
I've really been looking forward to this match, too, when I found out that's what the one we're covering. I would have been disappointed had we not had this one. And not that there's not lots of other great matches out there, but this is just such a clash of this guy's focus versus that guy's talent. Free ball in the wing. Chang to break.
Okay, nice hit there and getting plenty of movement on the balls. And the one is going to come up to where I wouldn't doubt he becomes offensive here. Even though it's a tester on a cross-side bank, he can definitely get some reward with it. He may be able to play two-way with it, kind of falling below the 4 maybe. That may be the natural angle. The 4 is very playable from either side.
Well, he just put his finger behind the 4 where he wanted the cue ball.
Yeah,
so.
just kind of resting, kind of straight in on the 4. Down the table would be nice. You'll see the 5. He's made 3 on the break mark.
He's got a powerful break.
And this is the type of shot that a lot of guys would say, hey, why don't you just lay him up behind this? Because he doesn't want it taken away from him. He's got one that he's a big favorite to make. And when I say big favorite, he's got to be 8 out of 10, I would think, somewhere around there.
Ooh, that's a little high, but
You think? Nah, at this level, I don't know. I just don't see him missing. Great 9-ball players are great cross-side, and the moment makes you even better, I think, when it comes to great players.
Well, if it's 8 out of 10, there's never a reason to play safe then.
Yeah, 7 out. I mean, I got to believe it's upwards of 7 out of 10. Maybe not quite 8. I don't know, but
he hit the heart of the pocket with that, so we'll just give you 8 out of 10. That was awesome.
Yeah, guys that these days sometimes complain about that kind of starter are mistaken about complaining. That's for sure.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Hide Jayson, have him kick it in, and then run 4 racks on you for doing it?
Well, the game's evolved a little bit where players are a little more accustomed to starting with easier shots. At certain events, there's certain rules, certain situations that the break has kind of made people look at a cross-side bank like it's a tough shot. Got a little straight here, so he may have to shoot the 7 from a little more distance than he wants.
Yeah, that's the closest to a position error that we've had. He's a little straight. He still can force it a little bit that way. He's in good line now.
And here you're going to see that drag stroke again, I believe. Instead of using 2 cushions back and forth, you really open the pocket up and you control the cue ball so easy if you could become comfortable with this shot.
Somebody's cell phone.
Yeah, we got a phone going off.
Ignited.
Okay, that's been taken care of. But you'll see he'll just kill this ball. He starts off with draw, and then it turns over to a follow shot. There's a lot more control with it that way. And that one he kind of just drew out, didn't he?
He did, yep.
This is kind of, I get the feeling of no nonsense, J.L. Chang.
Oh, yeah. I've never seen a nonsense Chang. I wouldn't mind going out with him. Maybe we'll have a couple tequilas or something, see if he loosens up. 6-2 is our score. That was his 3rd break and run out.
980. Shaw at 870. That's a little lower than I expected. I didn't.
The only reason is that the ball pocket, Jayson just has a pocket of many balls. He's only got 3 errors, so you were right about that. And then Chang, 49 balls pocketed, 1 error, 980. Epic performance. I've never seen 980 lose, have you?
I don't think so.
No. The only way you can possibly have it happen is if the other guy just runs like 10 racks on you.
Right.
You ran 1, broke dry, and then you could have a super high TPA, I suppose, and lose. But if there's any kind of scoring at all, you'll never lose when you're up over 960. 900 used to just be automatic win, almost. Just a rarity if you lost.
Sky Woodward had a shot at the 6, and he made it, but he miscued, so he didn't gain position on the 7, and I'm not so sure he has a bank on it. He needs to get on the board to get something going.
He's a Billy Thorpe talent banking-wise, so.
Well, he made the bank. Back at the feature table here, Jayson Chang.
Look at him zero in here. Oof. Jayson Shaw can hardly bear to look. No, he's going to levy a major blow on this rack. 4 ball is your wing ball.
Not making that, getting a couple kisses there. The 9 getting kissed as well. And a dry break.
But didn't leave
what
a
a
shot.
starter.
Yeah.
Well, he's going to attack. He's going to try and go into the 9 right here, I do believe. Not so sure what he's looking at as far as he's looking at maybe making the 9 in the other corner as well.
Right.
So he's going to hit this with a straight high ball with a little bit of speed. Not just playing the 9, playing the 1, and trying to hold position on the 2, using the 9 ball to contain the cue ball. So this won't be slow rolled. It won't be blasted either, but, about medium, maybe a hair more. Okay, overcut it. It's going to get a break. And really needs one at 6-2.
Yeah. It wasn't unfair. Jason's not had many scoring opportunities, and that was not an easy one.
No, and I wonder if trying to get on the side of the 9 he wanted really kind of made him lose a little accuracy on pocketing the 1. Because even though the 1 was tough, I sure did like him to make it.
Yeah. We're not accustomed to ever missing the ball that much. It's just rare, but wasn't easy at all. Even makes me feel a little better about my game, too.
Chang. I believe he's got a lot of ways. If he can hit this meaty, he wants to hit a lot of it. The 1 either side. Let the cue ball go down towards the rail, either off the 5 or straight. Oh, he went right in between them. Wow. Kind of let up on it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I've said it a bunch of times, Mark. There's nothing like ball in hand to wake up a great player when things aren't going so well.
Exactly right.
And not just for this game, but just to get himself going for the next, maybe. He's got some work, though. You can see the 3's down table and the 4's all the way at the other end. So he needs to gain nice position on the 2 to stay on the clear side for the 3 when he comes back down the table for the 4. Doesn't want to be running into anything with the cue ball. So this is that same shot coming out 2 rails. Should come out, maybe catch the 3rd rail just a little bit past the 8.
Got a little angle here to work with.
Yeah, he should be okay, but he doesn't want to get thin on the 6 to where he has to try and go up and down the table. Not with the 8 being there. And you wouldn't want that anyways, but definitely not with another ball that could be in the way of that happening.
Mm-hmm.
Something he's not so subtle.
Yeah, he raised up a couple times, so it was uncertain.
Now he's got to slow roll this a little bit. Doesn't want to get much past the head string with the cue ball. Nice shot.
Mm-hmm. Right on the head string for you. I think 2 rails is a better choice here. That way you can kind of glide the 7 in rather than try to just creep it up there.
Yeah, it was just something, you figure out which way am I fighting it a little bit. That time it was fighting it, trying to hit it easier rather than just going with a little more, making the 2 rail up and down the table real natural.
Yeah, good point. And just like Jeremy said, nothing like ball in hand to help a good player get his rhythm. 6-3 is our score.
Yeah, you just get to make a decision how you want to shoot the first 2 or 3.
Jason Shaw.
I think he's taking a timeout.
Take a little breather.
I think, anyways. I believe that's the case, and it is.
All right, everybody, we'll be right back. Short timeout. Okay, everybody, we're back. 6-3 is our score. The 4 ball's on the wing.
Okay, much more cut on that one. Okay, is he going to get a nice kiss? He is. Wow, what a sweet layout, or at least a starter. It's got some work for sure. We've talked about it before. It's paying attention to these types of outs that really get you through matches, not making any mistakes as far as bringing your opponent to the table, even if you have to play safe in a situation like that. Like this, that's a mistake. At this level, anyways, Mark.
Yeah, these guys create too many opportunities on their own. Top spin, 2 cushions.
Well, he came
One
a little,
cushion.
yeah, he came a little bit, and I don't blame him there because that way he can deal with a lot of angles if he's close to it off the rail. If he comes 2 cushions and falls a little underneath, now he's got to go down towards the 9. It's gotten a little funny here as far as making a decision. He's going to punch it out, I think, 2 rails around the 7. Oh no, he just came with 1. Oh, nice little touch. Yeah.
Glad he didn't rub the 9, I'm sure.
And he's falling a little funny here.
Yeah, sometimes those angles, even though you're close, you can get kind of in an odd place. It makes the shot play a little tougher for proper position. Chooses short side, conservative route.
That's one thing I was trying to tell a couple of the guys yesterday on the TV table. Especially, do not be afraid to play short side coming back down the table on one of the last few balls. Especially, it's very easy to move the cue ball with a little bit of speed and the pockets. I mean, just generally you're not hitting the ball very hard from short side, so it's a little different when you start playing on the older felt, I think.
Yep. Second break and run out of the match for Jayson Shaw.
And it's kind of felt like it was a one-sided match overall, but we're really, I mean, you kind of expect after 10 games somebody to be 6-4, 7-3. You rarely ever see that 5-5, or you don't see it as often as you think you would.
Yeah.
And we got a ball game.
Well, Shaw's over 900 now. This TPA. I knew this was going to be fiercely contested.
Oh yeah, I don't expect. I mean, I wouldn't expect. I would be very surprised to see any sub 850 matches. Now, we get near the end. Funny things could happen. We see it in all kinds of sports, especially these types of sports, pool, golf, whatnot, where the mental side could get you if the moment's too big for you at that time. But I don't expect to see any sub 850 matches. I'm watching the outer tables, and I'm watching everybody play great there.
Like to recognize Jared, the jazz man, sax player. He's watching out in Silver Spring, Maryland. Here we go, Jayson Shaw breaking rack 11.
And much more of a cut on the last one that he did 2 ago, making the 1 on the side. That one a little more full again. You'll notice how much higher the 1 went. He's going to need a roll again not to give up a nice shot on the 1, and that didn't happen. I think he's just going to hold his ball to shoot the 1 on the side, then the 2 in the corner to where he comes out 2 rails for the 3. I don't think he can really go forward with the cue ball here.
Chat. Just ease it on there and make sure you don't double hit the cue ball.
Okay, this is where he's been so impressive. The speed, traveling,
Yeah,
8 feet, right? 7 feet right there.
every bit of it. And he was so smooth through the ball. It always seems like his tip stays on the cue ball, that little extra span of time.
Yeah, when you have a stroke timing like that, you trust that roll out of the cue ball. When the nerves are high, you can still be very effective.
Mm-hmm. But that's years of dedication, staying in this upper strata, and then persisting and work on it, not just resting on your success. This guy just does not beat himself. Not that he does so many fantastic things, he just doesn't mess up on the things that he should accomplish.
Okay, a little bit, didn't hit the pocket great that time, but nice stroke on it, which helped the ball get in a little bit. Yeah, these days, top shelf pool, world-class pool is about consistency and being able to repeat. I think overall the game's not played quite as much, meaning that the entirety of the game doesn't come up quite as much. So it's more about being able to repeat what is needed. And these guys are unbelievable.
Yeah, just super consistent.
Yeah, like the guys know how to do it, don't get me wrong, but tournament conditions don't bring up breaking balls out as much and certain things and not near as many rollouts. But what does come up, these guys have almost perfected.
Chang was fairly straight, felt more confident stunning forward rather than rolling it forward, which would have brought him near the corner pocket.
There's that 6-7 inch bounce off the rail again, the cue ball. Unless the ball, your object ball is like on the rail or really near the rail, you can manage with most angles when you got that cue ball off the rail nicely, such as Chang does pretty much the entire match.
Chang exploits a dry break by Jayson Shaw, pushes out to another 3-game lead at 7-4.
There's only really one-sided match going on. Unfortunately, Scott Woodward down 7-1. Or no, 7-2, excuse me. But he is at the table. Got Kazakis and Chu. Kazakis trailing 6-4. Oscar Dominguez trailing 8-7 with Dennis Orgullo. I've got Carlo Biata and Alex Pagulayan tied at 5 apiece. And just one heck of a match between Petri and Chris Melling, now tied at 7 apiece. Both players playing pretty much flawless.
Just killer pool on every table.
Yeah, and another full round of winners and losers coming up next at 8:30.
The other side of the room, you see how Kevin Chang's practicing, Kopin Chung practicing, Shane Van Boning warming up.
Kachi, WPA ranked #1 player in the world right now, still on the winner's side. Now does Shane, he plays Kopingi, is that right?
I'm not sure. I didn't think that was the matchup, but I could be wrong. One on the side.
Nice break there, and the three's tracking down here, coming closer to the cue ball. Now you'll see a big congestion of 5 to 6 balls right there, which is kind of odd. Not the typical rack you would normally see. There were a few kisses there that kind of created that. Is he thinking the 4 passes the
Yeah,
8?
I guess it does.
Eee.
Yeah, this will be a pretty run out.
Yeah, well, can't wait to see him shoot the 4 if that's the case, because there's not a whole lot of pocket, and you have to shoot it with angle, and you can't get super close to it because you have to gain position on the 5. So, okay, and this is what I'm talking about. This is typically not the side you'd like to shoot this ball from, too, if you only have a half a pocket. I mean,
Yeah. He may opt to go with a defensive shot, even though that's not what he would really like to do.
well, he's got a nice one. He can creep this 4 past the 8 and just with a little inside spin go the rail and back up on the 8 and 9.
Shane Van Boning plays Little Co. Thank you, do.
Yeah, not coping. I mean,
Cope and Chung.
yeah, exactly. And that's a nice shot. You'll notice he cut off the kick, the makeable kick with the 6, and that was totally intended.
Yeah, killer shot.
But I tell you, Jayson's not a big underdog here. If that 4 had bounced up just another inch, I think he would be a favorite to really have the advantage after this shot is over with. But if he can get underneath this ball and send it away and contain the cue ball behind the 5, 8, 9, just don't overhit it. That's the key. And kind of got away from him a little bit. But is he at least going to extend the game?
Yeah, it looks like he definitely accomplished that.
Maybe. I don't know. This guy might go with top inside and get all the way over on the other side of the table.
Even then, probably have to go for the bank position rather than straight in.
Maybe pound it. Well, the 6 goes in the upper corner. So if he can pound this over, or if he's very comfortable going forward with top left English, I think he's just going to slam it in, come across the table.
What a luxury. It's just past the side pocket, down the rail, pound it in.
I think so.
Yeah. I'm just saying what a luxury it is to have that tool in your arsenal.
I think it's just a little flat to try and come forward, go forward with top inside, trying to get to the other side of the table. I think close enough to it. The only problem here is being a little bit beside the 8. So swinging the cue hard, you got to watch that. We're playing all ball fouls. Oh, he did go with the top English, and what a shot. What a shot. And now he got perfect. Now he can come 1 rail out or 2 rails out for the 6 in the upper corner. That's the shot of the day right there. I think, anyways, the shot of this match.
Yeah. When you have the luxury of having that accuracy, you kind of just say, hey, just don't miss. I'll defend myself if I don't quite get there. And that sort of frees you up to, but yeah, he had a good ball.
You should just keep this simple and come above the 9 here. Don't flirt with going around the 8 or anything. Yeah, there you go. Played too good to do anything other than simple.
Mm-hmm. And from that good safety. And Jayson had a nice effort at a 2-rail kick. Hit it just a little bit too hard, and that's all it takes.
That's easy to do. That's why I was saying don't overdo it on the kick shot, because you want to get the 4 out of there. So it kind of makes you feel like, oh, let me hit it with a little more speed.
Yeah.
And now Sky Woodward creeping back into the match at 7-4. Dennis Orcullo, I believe, up 9-8 and breaking. Petrie ahead 8-7 over Chris Melling.
Chang, 8-4.
8-4 is our score. Chang breaking. 4-ball on the wing.
Now at 9, both players, 971 for Chang and 905 for Jayson. Cue ball is going to be on the bottom rail. Now what's going to happen with the 1 ball? So probably going to see some tactical play from here. The 1 not passing the 6. He could shoot at a 1-6 combination, but it's awfully tough.
No, I think he might cross it and play 2 cushion safety to the end rail, and if he drops it in the corner pocket, that's a bonus. Looks like the 3 would go by the 6.
It's awfully close to where the cue ball's bouncing out and catching the 5, though, off of that bank you're talking about. So
that's why he for sure played on the thin side, the 2 cushion, rather than go for the bank.
Yeah, it's just sitting a little funny. The thin side you're talking about, you'd like to run with inside English, and then your cue ball's going into the 6 ball. So this is difficult.
Yeah.
This is very, very difficult. If your cue ball was over a little bit more, it would be easy to do the shot you're talking about, Mark. But when you're on the thin side of it, you start to lose control, of course. So.
Right. It definitely looks like it. I mean, if he did avoid the 3, he could come 1 rail down and clip the 9 and scratch.
I think he's trying to put him underneath the 3, 2 rail and the 1 around out by the 6, and maybe up towards the 8, putting the cue ball underneath the 3 ball, maybe.
A lot of super accuracy required here. Yeah,
he went forward. Okay, and that's a great shot too. That's trying to give him as much possibilities and leave distance.
Boy,
that's the main thing, is to leaving the distance.
Jayson's going to need his jump cue for this one if he's going after it.
And Jayson even giving a little tap to the table is an excellent play. And that's one thing that people always say, they always want to see the breaker run out. But I think people and players and spectators, they're educated enough to appreciate and smart enough to appreciate a great shot that doesn't have to be one that goes in the pocket.
That shot right there was much more difficult to execute than a long straight in shot.
Yeah, and there's the pressure of not getting to shoot at the pocket too.
Right.
The psychological side of it. Oh man, I got to go down with this goofy safety right here, but you still got to do it.
And he hit it very committed, executed it perfectly. From where he was at, you couldn't imagine a better result than this.
And he's made 2 jump shots already in this match, both of them relatively easy. This one much more difficult. But he's going to need some slowness on the 1. Not going to do him any favors.
Chang's great safety play has been rewarded several times in this match, and that was another one.
Yeah, and they weren't just like, let me stop my cue ball behind another one and send the other one down table. Like a lot of us complain about 1 foul, how easy it is for some safeties, but you could see the ones that he's had to play in this match have been very delicate, a lot of risk, some reward, of course.
Super billiard shots.
He's not going to be a little too happy with this, though, because he doesn't have an entire pocket. He wanted to be much thinner on this 3. That way he could go over to the 5 much easier, using the rail a lot more on the 3. Now he's got to hit it with more speed because he's got to play this thick into the rail a little bit to make it.
But knowing him, he might not get position, but he won't fail on pocketing the ball because that's why he'll take the pace out of the cue ball.
Yeah, well, and that was the problem. It made him want to move the cue ball easier. Like you tell people, don't sacrifice the ball trying to force the cue ball for position when you're trying to teach them.
Right.
It's easy to do. This has got funny. This has got real funny. I don't know if he's got too much angle to draw by the 9 without using outside, and that brings the 8 into play. So we'll see. Oh, he got by it. Nice shot.
What a nice shot. What a nice shot. Jayson Shaw. Firepower supreme.
Now he's got to rub the 6 coming out of there, though, Mark. This ball's kind of froze to the rail. This is real touchy trying to use outside. So I use kind of straight, just trying to catch the edge of the 6. Oh, he played it full. Better hope the speed's not too much, and it is.
Oh, boy. Got right in the spot that just absolutely neuters Jayson Shaw. No, he can cut it in.
Spinning
He's got enough. Oh, no.
Oh.
He thought he scratched. Yeah, he's smiling.
I was already on my way back.
Yeah, that's a good character to be able to be behind and have a laugh. That makes your opponent concerned how dangerous you really are when you're facing all kinds of adversity and they're out there smiling at it.
Well, you hadn't done a whole lot wrong.
No.
So it's kind of like,
Yeah. He's over 900.
Yeah.
913 to be exact. He's behind 8-5, but that's more by virtue of the fact he just hadn't had that many shots.
Sky Woodward, 7-5 now. Trying to make mount a big comeback. He's already mounted it. See if he can keep it going.
I know on the TV table last night, Sky played a real good set.
Yeah, he made just a couple of mistakes and shook those off and just played really well from the start to the finish.
Yeah, outstanding.
That's kind of text him afterwards last night, kind of reminding him just wait for your opportunity and see what happens and keep that same mindset you got going. He said he's feeling good, confident. I think we've seen a little better pace of play for Skyler overall.
Mm-hmm.
And now at 8-5, Jayson hasn't hit the break every time ideally. Both times so that he woke up dry on the break, he had a little bit more full hit on the 1. So we'll see if he goes back to a little more of a chop on the 1 with a lot of speed. Like that. That's the one I think that's been most effective.
Made 2 balls. One ball's covered by the 7, so the only pocket he would have would be in the far corner. And that's basically betting the game on that shot.
Well, I wouldn't put it past him, though.
No.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Now, he'll probably play the 1 into the 6 and try and float behind the 8 with a lot of maximum left English, or maybe even have to draw it a little bit. He'd like to be able to do that. That'd be nice. Nice shot, containing.
That might be more difficult than pocketing the 1, though.
You think?
Well, it might be.
It might be,
from
yeah.
where he's at. He's got to do a lot there with what you were saying.
Kind of spin into it.
So he's going soft speed. Trying
Yeah.
to use a 7.
Okay, that wasn't bad.
Well,
I mean, taking a chance, but I mean, you have to take a chance there. No way you can push out anywhere, really, when you got to look. You got to take a
Right.
chance of being effective, that's for sure.
yeah. Well, it's not that bad of a shot because Jayson's coming back to the table one more time at least.
And you would say maybe a couple years ago, Jayson would be a little underdog tactically against a guy like Chang, but I wouldn't say so anymore.
Right. Well, I think he is slightly, but he
Still.
makes up for it with firepower.
Well, and
he's-
executing the safeties.
Right.
He kicks at the ball great.
He's much better, but we also saw like the 2-rail kick that he kicked too hard. That's the slight hint of an error that Chang doesn't usually make. But it's much closer now, and he for sure has the upper hand on just pure shot making.
This is difficult because you'd like to cut the 1 and come across and use the 4, but now the 1 could get away from him a little bit, and if he doesn't hook him, it could be real trouble like that. That's what he wanted to do, and that's a great shot. That was like to the max as far as trying to get by the 4 and contain the 1.
Look at the audience recognizes how hard that was.
Oh,
He
yeah.
hit a real good ball.
Well, the speed on the cue ball, everything was just perfect.
Look at the safeties that Chang's played. Stunned forward, down behind the 6, forced it, and earlier.
He chipped the cue ball, ran the cue ball perfectly, like 3 rails,
Right.
a good up and down the table at 16, 17 feet from the time he shot it to the time it ended up.
Man, unbelievable quality performance here. This is what I was thinking of when I was texting people at dinner. This could be a heck of a match right here. Jayson's going to kick.
He's got a lot of ways to come clean here.
Think of
Wanted
how,
to catch that second rail. I would have hit a little harder because you want to get escape if you get some type of hit like that. Really surprised he kind of laid off the speed on it, but nevertheless, it didn't have to end up exactly like that. But again, Chang rewarded for a great safety. Can't really say, oh, Jayson could have done this, could have done that. I mean, it's just doing all he can.
Right. No, Chang has kept him handcuffed. That's why I was saying he's like a boa constrictor here.
Going to draw back for the side pocket. Using the rail as a nice reference. Got to be good. 5's very handy. Pretty ideal where he can just use 1 rail coming out at the 6, I believe. Just straight top English. Go ahead and be aggressive here. Go ahead and come on down and get near it. No reason to baby this one. A lot of people lay off that shot, end up much further away from the 6 with a little bit of an off angle straight shot, and then you're gonna start to question what you're gonna do. Those there are the real full hits coming down the table. Always let that stroke out. Okay, that could have been a little more. That could have been a little better. Nothing he can't handle, but now he's going to have to put a little something on the cue ball mark. Probably like a straight draw. Just check the cue ball 1 rail straight in between the 8 and 9. I don't think you want to pull this with low outside and go around the 8.
Yeah, I don't think he's quite that bad. I think he can just cut it in with a quarter of the way up from the bottom of the ball. I don't think he has to bend it a great deal, do you?
Well, to keep straight, you want to overcut it. That way you keep your straight angle going straight up and down with the... He played it with outside and let it fall. But either way is fine. He threw the ball in a little bit more and let it fall down off the angle and then bite back. So with the English. But in total control, whichever way he's choosing to shoot him there.
All right. Nice job there. 9 games. And at least 3 games he's won just because of tremendous safety play. Usually you don't say safeties do not win games. They just get you back to the table. But here he's actually won the games because of that. He's at 952.
Yeah, and that without gaining ball in hand on any of them. Just,
yeah.
You know, the opening one, I believe it was the second game. It may have been the first game. I think it was the second game. And he cut Jayson off on a kick shot on the 3. Jayson hit it, but he had to hit it at a light speed, hoping just to get a snooker with 1 ball. But the 5-ball shot down the rail, I mean, Chang's not won the match, but if you look at a shot, tell at anybody in the room who's the most comfortable. Well, show me a shot they shot to compared to another guy he shot. Well, the 5 down the rail with that straight top English elevated over the 8 coming down for the 5. I'm sorry, the 4 down the rail coming down for the 5.
Right. When it was up near the side pocket.
Right,
You're
exactly.
Sort of pounding in. That was a big one. And then the safety where he brought it all the way around.
And just stunned the cue ball kind of on the same track the 6 was on, right in between the 8 and the rail.
I mean, we can't even think back on a bad shot that he's played. He almost got out of line one time, but he got himself right back in. It
was one safety to where he did get him snookered.
But, the one over the side,
yeah. Exactly. So, Oscar Dominguez, he scratched on the 8, down 10-8. Darn. Loses to Dennis Orcullo. Oscar was really starting to play well. Ran into a buzzsaw of Dennis Orcullo. Now at 9-5. Made the corner ball.
And there goes the 1.
The 1's in a good spot. The 2 got kissed and pinned down on the end rail. So you're going to see the defensive play again. And this one's going to be a little more interesting on what he's going to do. Doesn't really lay that natural to like bank the 2 down by the 6-3 and kind of let the cue ball float towards the 4 and the 8. That's a possibility because he's in such a tough spot. Whatever I did, I might tie something up and roll out here. I might tie up the 3 and the 6, or bank the 7 up on that side rail, kind of making things funny on the 3.
I kind of like banking the 7 up there because you can improve your angle just a little bit to bank it for safe.
Right. If you think you might get it back, the rollout. So, but the situation is so difficult. You'd like to say, let me just edge the right side if you're him and run the cue ball and use the 4-8, but I think he's going to try and float this back up and just coast the cue ball right up on the 4, using the 4 and the 8, kind of maybe run into the 4 with the cue ball. Oh, he used a bunch of spin. That's going to have to slow down, and it's perfect. Wow, great shot.
Long range, slow speed, lots of spin.
And he drug the cue ball down there. You could see it stall when it turned over, when it diminished. And this is a good kick shot, though. A lot of ways that cue ball could end up back behind this 9 and 4 and all that. So don't baby this kick, this long rail kick. Oh, he's going to jump it. Okay. Definitely going to have to use his extension. Timeout.
Extension.
It's going to be no good. Put the 2 over the hole and just caught a little much of it. He was trying to lay it on the back rail and run the cue ball up table, just trying to contain Chang. Now, Chang's got an interesting one here. It's got a little bit of an angle to where it's not so easy just to draw right back out for the 3. You could go rail first, but then speed is crucial.
And the 2 ball's just a little ways away from the pocket and the rail, so the rail first does have some misses attached to it.
It's like he's hitting a high ball. I'm not sure where he's going with the cue ball, to be honest with you. Great shot.
Great. Yeah, he's got the 3 now. He had to go in between the 4 and the...
Yeah, that was commitment there.
9.
That was committed. The stroke was any waiver on the stroke. The cue ball deflects a little bit, goes into one of those balls, and you're dead snookered. Maybe not dead snookered, but you definitely don't have a shot at it.
Right.
shot there, perfectly played.
It's
Wow.
like he's like a pool playing robot or
How's the
something, isn't
speed?
it?
How's the speed, anyways?
Yeah, just perfect. That's how he played last night against Dennis Orcolio. Just shut him right down.
Got a little off angle there now, where he's not happy about it too. He wanted to fall straight in, or even a hair less of straight in. Should be okay. He just got to move it to the rail now a little bit. And he doesn't have to move it much. He can cut the 7 in from a lot of places.
Right.
But he can't quite hold it from there. I don't think that's the proper play. He could fall on the rail trying to hold it. So he'll let his stroke out. Use a little force to go to the rail now. Out probably, 6-8 inches, somewhere around there.
Oh, boy. Got plenty out of that. Using your words, let your talent work, rather than try to force the positions that's not there at all. Just going to have to respect his talent.
Yeah,
He's on the hill.
10 to 5. Jayson shooting 917 and
Yeah. Get smoked by a 957. The one thing I will say, we've seen Jayson come back from this spot many of the time.
oh yeah, he's just again waiting for another opportunity. He knows as far as the innings are concerned, 6 racks, that could easily just be one.
Yes.
One
Yeah,
inning.
one visit. Chang is a pure killer, though. He doesn't falter when he gets near the hill and just thinks he's going to fall over. He puts you away.
Oh yeah, treats every ball the same, every game the same.
Yeah.
I call it fun work.
That's the hallmark of excellence rather than just being good.
Rack 16. Chang breaking.
What's Ruiz doing over there? Can you see what the score
Yeah,
is?
he's playing perfect, really. I mean, Sky missed a 7 ball at 7 to 5 to make it 7 to 6. It wasn't easy. I didn't see how he got there, and then Ruiz knocked it in from nowhere to make it 8-5, and now he jumped in the 4 ball, running out again, shooting the 9 to go to 9-5. But Ruiz has had one heck of a tournament. He's beat a lot of great players, and a guy that's really improved as far as his pool game.
Yeah, from Spain.
Him and David Alcade both talented, but in my opinion are real workhorses at the table, really, as far as improving too. It wasn't just like the easiest thing in the world for either one of them to become great players, in my opinion. Put in a lot of work. Just their mentality. They got talent. It's just their mentality makes them want to work to get it. So
Chang, a couple balls on the break. The 9 ball rimmed the side pocket. Reluctant to fall in. Now he's got a odd safety play.
yeah, he's going to have to use the 7-5, I think, maybe, or is he going to draw back? He's trying to follow him, put him underneath the 8. That's what he's trying to do. I don't know if the angle's there to let the 3 get away. Is the 3 going to catch the 8? That's what I would be worried about. He'd like to shoot the 3 away and follow straight through and pin him underneath the 8 ball. But I think the angle's telling him he can't do that. The 3's going to catch the 8.
Even if it's there, you got to hit that ball so good because it's got to be
Yeah.
the ball speed. It can't just be I don't think
If you
just
get comfortable
effective.
with that shot, though, you can be very effective. But I think to miss the 3 with the 8, miss the 8 with the 3, excuse me, the cue ball is going to get left of you, see? And he still almost got it, but It just wasn't
You're
laying
right.
there. I do like that type of shot. It's a one-pocket shot, a shot you learn playing one pocket pretty quickly. Kind of like you use more full hits on the object ball to move the cue ball slowly into positions. So
He just wasn't there.
no, it just wasn't there. And he was going for the kill there. That type of safety also is very effective because you usually get them up underneath the ball where they have to go back down table to kick.
Right. Then even if they do hit it, it's hard to get much separation.
Yeah, the pace. Yeah, exactly. Pace really is a killer.
Now, I cannot tell what Jayson has. Looks like he's looking at cutting it back past the 9 to the side pocket.
Well, I think he's worried about if he cuts the 3 in the corner, he's going to scratch off the 9 in the side. I don't think he's worried about a natural scratch. I think he's worried more about the kiss off the 9.
Right.
So now, at least if he cuts the 3 in the side, he figures to go into the 7 and not scratch. That's the beautiful thing about that shooting it that way rather than the corner. A little thick, and he went right through him and scratched. Okay, so you're going to see probably a 3-8 carom shot to start this run right here to open up the 5. Main thing is here he's got to be a little concerned not to get elevated over the 5 with the cue ball shooting the 3 next.
Yeah, I would think he would go thinner on the 3 so he can hold the 3 for the other side pocket.
Maybe.
Yeah, like
of course,
this.
you don't want to be an inch away from it either. You want to move the 3 a little bit further away if you can, have enough room to cue. Yeah, you don't want to be like where you can't really, you know what I mean, get a full shot on it. So
no, the side pocket's not available really because he'd have to jack up. I think corner pocket now.
yeah, and that's fine. That keeps him clear of the cue ball, meaning getting over the 5. He shoots this 3 in the corner. He can stun for either the side pocket or the one of the bottom corners. And the sweet thing about this is the 5's available past the 6 and 7 in the upper corner. So really, whatever angle you fall on the 4 ball, main thing here is bury this 3.
Yeah, good point. Make the 3. Forget the position. Just make sure you make the 3. Look at that shot. That was aggressive.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
He hasn't really backed off much.
No.
That's for sure. I mean, gets through the rack, making it look easy, but when it's not presenting itself as easy, it hasn't really slowed him down hardly at all.
What's his TPA over there, Jeremy?
It's 9 approaching 960.
Wow.
Jayson Shaw can pretty much grab that white towel next to him. Get ready to throw it in because he's going to be moving to the loser side. He'll be back. And really, if you're Jayson, just keep your cool because you're playing great. You just ran into a guy that just wasn't going to be beat here tonight.
Yeah, north of 960 would be his TPA. JL Chang smothers Jayson Shaw. That's the only way. And there's nothing to be ashamed of at all.
No, great shooting.
Kind of like my wife says, if you didn't like that, there must be something wrong with you.
Right.
Ra Hanner will be down on the floor with JL Chang and his interpreter, Jung-Lin. And that's another rendition of a great world-class pool from Accu-Stats. On behalf of Mark Wilson and Jeremy Jones, so long for just a while.
This is Ra Hanner with Accu-Stats with the Red Hot, the Fire Dragon, Chang Jung-Lin. Absolutely correct. All right, your break was fantastic. How many hours do you practice your break?
他问你说你平常练球是开球是怎么练习？一天要练几个小时？
我是要来比之前才练的。
He just start practice about 1 week ago.
one week you start breaking, 1 week you break so good. Okay, now, how many hours do you practice pool a week?
你一个礼拜打几天的球？
4天到5天，
那每天打多久？
2个小时。没有啦，你说自己练球2个小时。
He practice 4 to 5 days a week, and every time seriously 2 hours.
And I heard you like to swim. You like swimming?
Yeah. Very lucky. Very good.
Very good. All right. Fire Dragon, Accu-Stats. Stay tuned because coming up we have Captain America Shane Van Boning versus Ko Pin Chung.
Yeah.
We'll be back.
Introducing Lucasi Hybrid, a whole new level of performance and technology. A cue with the revolutionary X-Shocks dampening system, eliminating vibration. G5 grip technology for enhanced traction and stability results in maximum cue control. Total sweet spot construction means unmatched power. And the Zero Flex Point ferrule provides dead-on accuracy, giving you the confidence you need in every shot. Lucasi Hybrid, the only cue that matters.